And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me, with enough touches, he could easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. There he goes, left side.
Let's get that swagger, y'all.
He's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And that is where Darren Waller really excels. He led all NFL tight ends in yards after the catch in 2020. Another nice effort here.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one that's going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. An extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Bridgewater. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation here, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. Touchdown Raiders! Darren Waller standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Raiders lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
From the pistol, they run with Gordon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. To throw, Bridgewater. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Bridgewater. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Bridgewater. Got an open man here. It's K.J. Hamler. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
Nice sharp run there by Kenyon Drake, and he's awfully tough to get on the ground. And how about this Raiders backfield? It's certainly not lacking for punch, having signed Drake this year and already having Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Now, Drake, he's never had a 1,000-yard season, but last year in Arizona was his best yet. 955 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns, plus he can catch it swinging out of the backfield.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. A big play there for the Raiders.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike. Hey, 93. 56.
From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Touchdown! 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
In on the stop there, Alexander Johnson, the Broncos' leading tackler last year. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. He gets it complete to Jackson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the round is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. To throw is Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Casey Hayward. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On second down, Gordon once more. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
No gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. Play fake. Bridgewater. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These 2 teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they work this right upfield across the 45. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. 47 Mike, 47 Mike, Mike 47. You can't block me. You can't.
The final shot here before half for Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this 2nd half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
The first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the 2nd half.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing, Bridgewater. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Check Mike 11,
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a big play there for the Broncos. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
2nd and 12. Bridgewater now. It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Oh, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. Now Bridgewater. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked out by the rookie from TCU, Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Carr now on 1st down. And this goes out wide for Drake. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Carr now on 1st down. And he'll look downfield for Waller. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw. And they're hooked up there for a first down.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Second and 4 at the 9-yard line.
Go. Go. 4-7's a mic. 4-7's a mic. Let's go. 7-34. It's going to be a long day. 47's the mic. 40.
Throwing now is Carr. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown Raiders. Darren Waller, a 9-yard touchdown ground. And the silver and black continue to roll. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Hey, watch the slant.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Deshaun Jackson His 9th touchdown of the season. And a forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So they called it a touchdown originally. This will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. To throw in his Locke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Locke. Got to have this one. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Lock. This is the tight end Fant.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs. Keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And Gordon's going to be stopped short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Desperation time. 4th down. Bridgewater. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. That's caught by Water out left side. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play there for the Raiders.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Second down and goal. Carr. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on the way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here would hope that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
Ball carrier. He's taken down at the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up second.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. And the Raiders have got him. For Asante and Lurikin. With a big-time sack on 3rd down, it's a loss of 7. They're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Locke. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Check back 11, check back 11. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Hey, check back 11, check back 11. You must be true.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Locke working out of the gun. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Hey. 4 down. Deuce.
Locke now on 1st down. That's out to the flat for Gordon. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
At the 26-yard line.
Check back 11. Hey, let's get in them holes. Hey, check back 11. I'm on. Check 9.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Locke, he's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A field goal would tie it, but they want more. They're going for it.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Cut.
Locke gonna go on 4th down. And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Mullen. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Las Vegas, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.